Assalamu alaikum all of you. Today we are going to learn about the network hardwares, that what are the hardwares we do require when it comes to building up a network. So as we know that network is something that when we are going to merge two or more than two devices for a particular for a common task, so that is making up a network. Now when it comes to the network hardware, so first thing that we do require is an NIC. NIC is a network interface card. This is also known as a LAN card that contains the MAC address of a device. We will be learning about the MAC address just after this thing. So in short, MAC address is a identification number of a device. Now when it comes to the wireless networks, like for example, I do have a cellular phone with me along with me. So this phone is having a WNIC, that is a wireless network interface card, so that this phone or this device can be linked with the internet. So for linking up a device, like for example, if I'm having a PC along with me, so that PC is not containing a wireless part, that needs a LAN cable. So for that LAN cable, I do require a NIC card, but if I'm going to connect it with the help of the antenna or something, so I will be needing a WNIC card, that's a wireless network interface card. Coming towards the MAC address, as I just told you, that MAC address is basically utilized to recognize a device on the internet. MAC address is of 48 bits, out of which first half from the left hand side identifies the manufacturer, while the I'm so sorry. First half from the left hand side identifies the manufacturer, while the other half identifies the device. That means first 24 bits will be identifying the manufacturer, while the other 24 bits will be identifying the device. For example, I'm utilizing a phone. So first half will be telling me that which brand or which company does it belong to. Does it belong to Samsung? Does it belong to Apple? Does it belong to Sony? Or does it belong to Nokia or something like that? And then out of that, the other half will be telling me the model and then the serial number or the particular device number of that thing. Now when it comes to the types of the Mac, so we do have two different types of the Mac, that is a locally administrated Mac and a universally administrated Mac. Locally administrated Mac means that that particular device will be working within the particular domain only. We cannot execute that device or we cannot run that device outside that particular domain. But when it comes to the universally administrated Mac, so that particular device, like for example our cell phones, can be executed or can be run at any of the place around the world. So that is known as a universally administrated Mac. So for universally administrated Mac, we do write UAA, while for the locally administrated Mac, we do write LAA. Coming towards the IP address. Okay, now when it comes to the IP address, so IP stands for the Internet Protocol Address. It is also utilized to uniquely identify. Till here it's the same. The MAC address was utilized to identify a device, but the IP is utilized to identify a website or a web page on an internet. Okay, now IP is of 32 bits if it comes with the IPv version 4 and 128 bits if it comes with the IPv version 6. Now IPv version 4 and IPv version 6, earlier we were, but till now we are utilizing IPv version 4, but we are drastically changing towards the IPv version 6. Why are we changing? Because let's consider there is a pool of an IPv version 4 and this pool has started to wind up. That means the IPs in this pool have started to wind up, have started to end it up. Now we cannot stop creating up the web pages or the website, because they are creating on day by day and on the daily basis, you may say. So for this thing we come up with IPv version 6 that has a greater range because it has greater number of the bits, as well as IPv version 4 was utilizing the ternary format, whereas IPv version 6 is utilizing a hexa format to be written. Now when it comes to the IPv version 6, so there are few of the advantages. IP collision. Now what do you mean by the IP collision? That means multiple web pages or websites cannot have the same IP, because we are having a lot of range. Because if they are having the same IP, that means they can't be recognized uniquely. So there was a shortage of the IPs. That is the reason we switched towards IPv version 6. Has built-in authentication checks. That means whether the IP is right or wrong. So there is an algorithm that checks whether the IP is correct or not. Then allows for more efficient packet routes. That means, as we just learned about the packet switching in the routing in the last lecture, so over here they are saying IPv version 6 can be routed more perfectly or more efficiently. Now we do have a comparison between a MAC and an IP. That is quite a common question for your O-level or IGCSE examination. Now with the MAC address, as we just told, it's a physical address to identify a device, whereas the IP is going to identify a web page or a website. Okay, MAC address is assigned by a manufacturer, while the IP is assigned by an ISP, that's an internet service provider. MAC address can be local or universal, but when it comes to the IP, so if it's a dynamic IP, it might be, or you may take it in this manner, that it might be static or dynamic. But if it's a dynamic IP, so it will be changing each time you are going to log it in. But if it's a static IP, it won't be changing itself. MAC address is utilizing 48 bits, whereas IP is utilizing 38 or 128 bits, depending that are we utilizing IPv version 4 or are we utilizing an IPv version 6. Now, as I just told you, that we do have two different types of the IPs, a static IP and a dynamic IP. So along with, or you may say, according to the new course outline, the examiner do ask about the differentiate between static and a dynamic IP. So taking the first point from the dynamic IP, greater privacy, because each time you are going to log it in, the IP is going to change. So that means there is a greater privacy. But when it comes to the static IP won't be changing. So obviously there will be a less less privacy in comparison to the dynamic IP. Okay, so device is traceable. Dynamic IP are less reliable and are not suitable for VoIP. That means voice over internet. That means your Zoom or Google Classrooms or something like that. But static IPs, as they are not changing, so they are fast. They have a fast uploading and a downloading speed, yeah, but they are expensive to maintain because you need to keep the similar IP throughout the sessions. The next device that we do require is a router, the most important one. Okay, do remember, router is not an intelligent device because it just routes, or you may say it just broadcasts the data. Okay, so enables data packets to be transmitted between different networks. Router converts data from one format, that means from one protocol to another protocol, because each and every network is having a different protocol. Now what do you mean the protocol? Protocol is set of rules and regulations. Set of the rules and regulations. Okay, so converting it from the one format to another format so that it could be accepted by the other network, so that is the function of the router as well. So this is all for today's topic. See you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Allah Hafiz.